This is the week before Black Friday week, and you best believe there are lots of new releases coming out from all corners for the Nintendo Switch. Lots and lots of notable releases, both large and small, and of course it's capped off by those pocket monsters. We got a lot to cover today, so hang on, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's go through this week's notable new releases for the Nintendo Switch. Tuesday seems to be the most packed of all the days this week, as we have a lot of notable releases that day. The Wild at Heart is a long-awaited indie game that seems to be heavily inspired by Pikmin. This is promising to be a real gem. Love the art style too. It'll be available for $24.99 digitally on the Nintendo Switch. What also might be a real gem is Grow, Song of the Evertree. This adventure game seems to be very beautiful and dreamlike judging by the trailer. The gameplay has heavy emphasis on growing the world around you. This will be available both digitally and physically on the Nintendo Switch for $29.99. Paradox's Surviving the Aftermath is finally coming to the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, judging by the gameplay trailer, it looks pretty impressive. This is a simulation strategy game. The developers at Paradox are very good at these style of games. It's going to be available both digitally and physically for $29.99 on the Nintendo Switch on Tuesday. If you've been on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen trailers for this game. Hextech Mayhem, a League of Legends story, is going to be on Nintendo Switch on Tuesday. This is a 2D rhythm platformer game where you perform various actions to the rhythm of the beat. It does look interesting, and it's priced pretty good too, at just $9.99 digitally on the Nintendo Switch. Root, the much-loved tabletop game, is getting a digital version for the Nintendo Switch on Tuesday. I'm all for tabletop games getting digital versions because, hey, you don't have to worry about missing pieces, or cleanup, or keeping stats. The digital version does that all for you. If you already love this game, or you're interested in playing a new kind of board games experience, you might want to check this game out. It'll be available Tuesday on the Nintendo Switch for $19.99 digitally. On Tuesday, two franchises that are very popular across the pond are getting new games. Marsupilami Hoobadventure is a 2D platformer being released on the Nintendo Switch as well as other systems. This looks heavily inspired by games like Donkey Kong Country. I know some people are really excited for this game because there hasn't been a Marsupilami game in years. And for people in the United States, you might just remember it being part of the Disney afternoon. But it's much more than that. It's very popular in Europe. This will be out on Tuesday, both digitally and physically, for $29.99. The SMURFS are also getting a brand new video game this week, in the SMURFS Mission VILEAF for the Nintendo Switch. This looks like a platformer adventure game that's well suited for the younger crowd. This adventure seems to be inspired by the Nickelodeon TV series as well, and this will be available both digitally and physically on the Nintendo Switch for $39.99. Some other notable releases out on Tuesday is the DLC expansion for Kingdom 2 Crowns. NORSE Lands will be out on Tuesday for the game. I don't know what price it is available for yet. Tried researching, could not find a price, so hopefully it's not too expensive. And also the double packs, Star Wars Jedi Knight Collection and Star Wars Racer and Commando Combo are going to be available physically for the Switch for $29.99. These games are already available on the Switch separate for $14.99 each, but in these collections they combine two games into one cart. So if you're a collector or you haven't bought these games yet and you're interested, you might want to pick up the physical edition. On Wednesday, November 17th, we have Klang 2 coming out for the Switch, $14.99 digitally. This is a rhythm action game. It looks pretty snazzy. I'm a little bit of a sucker for rhythm games. I have a soft spot for them, so I'm a little bit interested in this. And it looks quite challenging too, so we'll see how it holds up on Wednesday. On Thursday, November 18th, we have a bunch of games that are returning. And what I mean by that is they're getting new life on the Nintendo Switch. BloodRayne ReVamped and BloodRayne 2 ReVamped are coming out on the Switch on Thursday, both $19.99 digitally each. I remember playing these on the GameCube way back in the day. I think with these re-releases, that means every BloodRayne game is available on the Nintendo Switch now, so that's something to note. If you're interested in these games, they're out on Thursday. We got a returning shoot 'em up out on the Switch on Thursday too. Space Moth Lunar Edition is out on Thursday for $7.99 digitally on the eShop. Space Moth is a pretty fun vertical shoot 'em up, and this adds a little bit of extra content to the game. Now my 3DS players out there, you might remember a game called Ice Station Z. Well, that's coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be available for $4.99 on the Switch digitally. I know it's not the most prettiest game, it wasn't on the 3DS, but a lot of people loved the gameplay from it. And here it is, it's returning to the Switch, just $5. If you're a big fan of the game on the 3DS, you might as well pick up the Switch version. And finally, we come to November 19th, Friday. First up, we have NASCAR Heat Ultimate Edition Plus out on the Switch for $39.99 digitally and physically. It's another racing game for the platform. Obviously, this is all about NASCAR simulation and that, so if you're really into that kind of stuff, you might want to check out this game. We also have NERF Legends out on the Nintendo Switch. This looks like to be a fun shooter. I mean, I'll be honest, the gameplay trailer has me intrigued. Who knew NERF could go this hard? I mean, it's pretty intense. I think this is the second NERF game on the system, so this is probably like a semi-sequel to that game. Check it out if you're interested. It's going to be available digitally and physically for $49.99. And finally, arguably the biggest release of the week is the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This seems to retain a bit of the classic Pokemon look. Lots of chibi going on. I'm going to be picking up the game. I didn't really play Pokemon Diamond and Pearl when it came out years ago. It was kind of out of Pokemon then. So I'm excited to play this remake. There's supposed to be a big patch out on that day too, bringing a bunch of updated features and such to the game. So if you somehow get it early, you might want to wait till launch day to play. It'll be available both digitally and physically for the Nintendo Switch for $59.99. There's also a double pack for them, which of course includes both games for $119.99. And thus ends today's list. What games do you plan on picking up? I'm going to be picking up Pokemon Pearl, but I'm also eyeing some other games too. Also, sorry if I sound a little flat compared to my usual self. I'm a little bit under the weather, kind of dealing with a head cold of sorts. I'm hoping it clears up soon. I do not want to be sick for Thanksgiving. Please. Anyway, if you're not a subscriber, you should be. I post a bunch of Nintendo Switch videos each and every week. So become a subscriber so you never miss a single video. Shout out to the Kaiju Club Patreons. Thank you guys for being a Patreon member and helping to support this channel. And of course, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time. Thank you.